Hey everyone, it's Kenji and I'm going to show you how to make our pickled Fresno chilies. So you've seen me use these before on this channel and you've heard me talk about them. These are the chilies we use at my restaurant at López-Alt, which sous chef Eric makes, because he's in charge of the whole pickle and sausage program there. So we're going to start by bringing some vinegar to a boil. So I have, these are the chilies. I'm going to make about a quart of them today. So I'm going to probably need, I would say, 400 milliliters of oil. Of vinegar. This is just distilled vinegar, so 400 grams we're going with here. I probably actually won't need quite this much, but it's alright. It's okay to overestimate. Vinegar's cheap. So around 400. Doesn't have to be super perfect. And then we're going to do coriander seeds. This is about 4 grams of coriander seeds. If you want, you can put these in a cheesecloth sachet. You don't have to. It just means that you're going to have to pick them out later on. A couple bay leaves. I'm going with 2 here. Two reasonably sized ones. These are Indian bay leaves, which is just what I happen to have here right now. A couple cloves of garlic. Which we're just going to smash. We make this at 5-gallon buckets at a time, gigantic batches of this stuff because it lasts a long time. Plus we use it. I mean, it goes into a lot of our food. And now just some salt and sugar. So we're going for 2% salt. So that's 8 grams of salt. Close enough. And sugar. How much sugar was it? Let me grab my recipe real quick. I know I had it pulled up before. Here, I'll screenshot this right now so that you can see it. Okay, I'll pop this up on the right side of the screen. So pickled Fresno chilies, yeah. 2% salt. It's a little bit less than 2%. It's a little more than 2% salt and a little more than 2% sugar, but close enough for our purposes. It's at 2.5% salt and 5% sugar. So it's actually good that I overestimated the salt. And that's all by weight of the vinegar. So what is 5% of 400? Is that what is 5%? 400 times 5. My math is real bad right now. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 grams. That's what we want, right? No, that can't be right. Yeah, 20 grams. All right, perfect. So now we're going to bring this all to a boil. So this is a quick pickle, unlike the, it's not a lacto-fermented pickles. We also do lacto-fermented Fresno chilies. That's what Eric uses those for his hot sauce, which is entirely his recipe. This recipe is mine, and we use this one for our regular quick pickled chilies that we put on our burger. If you order it with the, you can order our burger with a hot mess of pickles, and we also put it into our beer queso that you can order with your pretzel. And then random assortment of other things. So we're gonna bring this to a boil. Meanwhile, I'm gonna clean these chilies. So what you can do is, at the restaurant we slice them. We'll slice them like on a mandolin, but I'm gonna leave them whole just so they have a little more versatility. And instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slit them in half like that, but leave them intact. That way, they pickle nicely, but they still have a lot more versatility. So I can serve them in slices, I can serve them in wedges, I can puree them into sauce. Basically, the more whole you leave them, the better they will. The more versatile they'll be. These are Fresno chilies. You can do this with jalapenos. You can do it with serranos. You can do it with habaneros. Any kind of chili will really work here. In fact, this basic technique you can use for almost any kind of, any kind of vegetable that you want. It'll work for cucumbers. It'll work for green beans, onions, anything. And this is quite a strong brine, so quite vinegary. So if you want like a milder pickle, you can cut your brine down by diluting it with water at about 50%, you know, so half and half brine and water. But I'm gonna go for a nice vinegary thing. And you know, the more vinegary it is, the longer it'll last in the fridge. So I'm good and vinegary for now. All right, I'm gonna just skip to when it comes to boil. Ready? Boil sesame. All right, so we're at a boil. So now this all just goes right over the chilies. I'm probably gonna spill a little bit, that's all right. Let's go with confidence. Oops, looks like we have slightly too little. That's all right, we'll top it off with just, I think that's little enough that we can add a little bit of plain vinegar and it's not gonna cool it down so much that it'll hurt it. And now here's the trick. You want to keep this submerged, and so the best way I find to keep it submerged, you get a towel like this, and you get it wet. And that way, even the tops of the chilies that are poking out above the water, through the capillary action of the paper towel, they're gonna stay doused in vinegar. All right, and then we close it off, let it cool, and pop it in the fridge. And those will pickle, they'll be ready to eat, you know, like basically as soon as they're cool, but they will improve a little bit, you know, the flavor will improve a little bit over time. They're not fermenting, so the flavor won't change significantly. Really, the only thing that's gonna happen is that the vinegar is gonna penetrate the pickles a little bit more over time. So give it about a week, and they will be sort of at their peak. And then from there, you can just leave them in the fridge and use them as needed for, you know, pretty indefinitely. They'll last a long, long time. There's not no real danger that these are going to go bad because bacteria and stuff don't grow so well in salty, acidic environments like this. All right, everyone. Those are Wurst Hall's pickled Fresno chilies. All right, see you next time. Bye.